Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, on time, looking sublime. Make sure you sing that loud and proud. Make sure I'm basically Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you your preview and everything else you need to know for Fulham v Tottenham tomorrow night with a special guest, Charlie. Charlie, how are you keeping, lad?
Yeah, good, David. Looking forward to this preview. Should be an interesting one today. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for having me on your channel. And yeah, let's get right into this, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Let's welcome a few people to the stream. We have Tot943 in the building. We have Tuik Ippel in the building. We also have Kevin Murray in the building. We have Dtrex Kane in the building. Big up, everybody. We have Shamu in the building. Big up, Shamu. We have Mr. Weaver in the building. Big up, Mr. Weaver. We have Vio Atal Arif Fathil. Hopefully I made a good go at that. We have Shank7. We have Jack Chamberlain. We also have Dark Sung 21. Big up, everybody. Big up, everyone. And we also have Caleb. What a hero. Welcome, Caleb. So, look, let's get into it. First of all, before we get into it, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. So, look, tomorrow it's a London derby. It's kicking off at 6 p.m. It's away at Craven Cottage. It gives us a trip down to the River Thames. But if you want the best coverage in town, make sure you tune over to Matty Hayes Watch Along at 4:45 p.m. where we'll be kicking it off. So, look, the league positions are Tottenham are in 8th. We've played 25 games. We've won 11, drawn 6, lost 8, picking up 39 points. Fulham are in 18th. They've played 26 games. They've only won 4. They have drew 11 and lost 11 on 23 points. But look, we are 6 points off top with a game in hand. So if we win this game tomorrow night, we are 6 points off top 4. So it is still achievable. So it's crucial that we win this one, isn't it, Charlie?
Yeah. 100%. I think the Burnley game was brilliant, as we know. Really good performance there. Definitely has the potential to start a bit of a run for us. But the big question is if. And I think we have to make it count against Burnley by going and beating Fulham, because it's all good beating Burnley, but we need to be consistent. We need to do it again and again the next game. And I think it's so important we put in a similar performance against Fulham and, most importantly, get the 3 points because to keep us in the top 4 race. Because I think if we don't win this game, I think it is curtains for us, if for any sort of glimmer of hope that we had. But if we do win this game, and then obviously if we can beat Palace on Sunday, then I think it really does propel us back in amongst the pack, because if we win the next 2, we'll have 3 out of 3 wins. So yeah, as Shepherd here, some good results for us today. Leicester drawing, Villa losing, so hopefully we can capitalise on them. But look, this won't be an easy game. Fulham, we've seen, I know David's going to bring it up, but the game getting a draw off us at the Lane, even though we should have won that. But still, Fulham, they don't concede many goals. They're a team that are very sort of stubborn defensively. They tend to get a lot of 0-0s, so quite a few clean sheets for them this season, actually. But however, their finishing is quite wasteful, and I think they really should have a lot more points than they do for them. And they've got some good players, as we know. Ademola Lookman caused us a few problems last time. Bobby Reed, Cavallero, Loftus-Cheek on loan from Chelsea. So there's some decent players in there. And I like the look of their fullbacks as well. Kenny Tete and Anthony Robinson, some good fullbacks in there from Fulham. So they are a sort of a very, they can be a tough nut to crack for them. But at the end of the day, if we're on our game, if we're on top, then I fully expect us to go there and win. We really, really do need to win. It's so important we win this game to just carry on the momentum and show that we can be consistent after a very fantastic performance against Burnley.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I just want to give a big happy birthday to Island Life here. Everyone else wish this person a happy birthday. Make his day. We have Adam Doherty in the building. Let's go, boys. We also have Holly Agambar. Massive win tomorrow. We need to now push on 100%. Yeah. Cody Matt, my daughter turns 3 today, and we ask her now. We watch football. She says, "Come on, you Spurs." That's exactly what I like. Look, I have a niece. You know, my sister's fella. He's actually a Liverpool fan, and you know, anytime I'm around, she goes up to him, winding him up, saying, "Come on, you Spurs." But whenever he's around, it's all, oh, you know, Liverpool, Mo Salah diving down the wing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So look, I completely. At least you got her for the "Come on, you Spurs." Big up, Cody. You know, Island Life happy with his the happy birthday shout out. So yeah, we have Kevin Murray, happy birthday, Island Life. That's what I'm talking about. We also have a super chat in here from Kevin Williams. Everyone else, make sure you get your super chats in when the chat hops up. Hots up, super chats take priority. Hi, David May. Can I get a lineup prediction, please? Yes, Kev. Look, so today I have stats for you. You know what I mean? We'll be going on talking a little bit about what happened in the last game. We'll be doing team news for Tottenham and Fulham. I want to talk then a little bit about Fulham. Then we'll be doing a predicted lineup. And then after that, I want to go in and talk a little bit about Tottenham. So basically, since then, we switched from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1. Basically, my opinion on whether Gareth Bale should start this game or not, reguillon, alderweireld the same. Why Bale and alderweireld are actually important to Tottenham as well. And a score prediction, of course. So, no, look, thank you very much for the super chat, Kev. You're a hero, a true ambassador of the Harris Army. We also have THFC Gaming.
Doing well with those predictions there. THFC Gaming.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely flying. So he is. But no, look, let's get straight into it, Charlie. So, look, I'm going to give you a few stats here now. Look, Fulham have won one of their last 14 games versus Spurs. Fulham have won one of their last 14 games that have been played midweek. Ooh. Tottenham have failed to win any 4 of the midweek Premier League games this season. And no team has scored fewer home goals than Fulham this season. But look, Charlie, you know, we know form counts for nothing. Sean, it's the last time we played them when, you know, look, they ended up making a show of me. I was out here wanting to give Scotty Parker a wedgie and some nuggies, and, you know, they ended up coming out with the result. On the night, it was a tale of two halves. First half, we should have had them dead and buried. We were all over them. And then second half, you know, look, Eric Dyer got out-jumped by 5'5" Cavallero. You know what I mean? So what do you make on the last game? Do you think there's lessons to take from that?
I think, in a way, the last game has kind of been the story of the majority of our season, if you think about it. Sort of go into a game, start fast, get a goal, don't take our chances, then sit back, invite them on, and then they equalise with an individual error. That game, I think, sums up the majority of our season this year. And I think, as I said, we really should have won that game with the chances we had. I remember Son hit the post in the second half, which could have made it 2-0. But then, as we've seen all season, Eric bloody Dyer with another mistake. I'm happy he's been out the team lately, and hopefully it stays that way on tomorrow. So look, we should have won the last game, and I hope that we should be after a bit of revenge for this game. I think that should give us, if we go with that mindset, it could give us some extra motivation, because we really need the 3 points in this game. It's a must-win game, as I said. And yeah, look, the last game, it was hard to take. It really was, and it was so frustrating because, as I said, it's been the story of our season, that game. As I just talked about. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the last game. We need revenge. We do. I like getting revenge on any team that we failed to beat earlier on in the season.
Yeah, no, look, I fully agree. You know what I mean? I'll be absolutely fuming if we haven't learned lessons and really go and put this game to bed nice and early. To be honest with you, that's what I expect. You know what I mean? Look, it was a system that maybe Jose was doing because, look, we know how bad the defense was. But maybe that the players have stopped believing in it. And, you know, look, we go there with a new system tomorrow, a different way of playing. So hopefully we get to see a different result. But look, let's touch on a bit of team news, Charlie. So on the team news front, look, there's no Giovanni Lo Celso. He's been out since December with his hamstring injury. You know what I mean? He's been out for a long time. What do you make on the Lo Celso situation? Because before we bought him, we done our homework. There was no real injury concerns there. You know what I mean? I think he missed 2 games through injury before we signed him. All of a sudden, since we signed him, he can't stay fit. Do you think maybe, look, it's the rigours of the Premier League and that, you know what I mean, his body just can't handle it, and that, you know, he basically could be the next Eric Lamela? Or do you think, look, he's just been unlucky this season, dust himself down and just get going again?
I think it's hard to say, really. Obviously, I found it out the other day, actually. Before he joined us at Real Betis, he actually only had missed a couple of games that season. And I don't know what it is. Look, the best guess for us is probably the Premier League. The physicality is completely different to La Liga. It's a different gravy over here in England. So, yeah, I think that's probably what it was, to be honest, the physicality of the Premier League. But look, I like Lo Celso. I've seen him get a lot of flack lately, which I think is undeserved, just because of his injuries. I do get it. It is frustrating seeing him have all these injuries. To be honest, it is frustrating. And I've seen a comment here about the medical team. Exactly, that could be part of it as well. I've questioned the medical team over the last couple of years, with especially especially last season with the amount of injuries we've had, because that was unnormal. It really wasn't normal having our two best players out injured last season, including the majority of other players as well. So yeah, I think the medical team, I have questioned them a lot in recent years, to be honest with. Although this year overall injuries haven't been as bad as last year. I hope I'm not speaking too soon, but at the moment, as we speak, injuries haven't been too bad for us this year. But look, Lo Celso, it is annoying because we know I really like him as a player. And before he got injured, he was starting to pick up a lot of form before he went injured, scoring against Man City, I believe it was. So look, Gio, when he's back, he'll be a really good option for us in the squad. And he can hopefully help us climb up the Premier League table and progress in Europa League this season.
100%. And we have a comment here from Rio Atal Arif Fadhil. Gio is class, should be in our starting lineup. What do you make of that? For me, look, I think he has a lot to prove, to be honest. I don't think he's actually done anything of note to actually just warrant coming straight into the starting 11. What do you think, Charlie?
I think, look, obviously when he does get back, he probably won't start for a while. Like similar, he might sort of come on for like half an hour at the end, or start and then come off after 60 minutes. A bit like what he did with Ndombele before he got up to full fitness. I think we could see something similar with that. And look, when he does get back, I think there's definitely a case for him in the number 10 role. I know Lucas Moura has been playing very well there recently, but I think Lo Celso on his day can probably add a bit more quality there. Obviously, look, he'll have to earn his place, of course, Lo Celso. He's not. I don't think he'll come in and start straight away, because I think there's a lot of competition for places at the moment. You've got, as I said, Lamela and Lucas are playing quite well lately, so that they're definitely serious competition for someone like Lo Celso. So look, I don't think he'll come straight back in, but I think he definitely gives us a really good option, whether that's starting or off the bench, to be honest, because we saw what he can do even coming off the bench. He scored against Man City to wrap up that game for us 2-0. So yeah, he's either way, starting or not starting, he's definitely a great option for us.
No, look, he'd be a great option from the bench, but just coming in, walking into the starting lineup, I think he has a lot more to prove, to be honest.
I don't think he can just walk in.
Yeah, we have a super chat here from Paul Markey. Attack must have balance is against Burnley. As against Burnley, if Bale doesn't start right wing, then Lamela, Moura in the middle, or Dele.
Yeah.
Look, Paul Markey. So, look, for me, with Bale, I actually think, I'm going to touch more on this later on, but I do think that, look, Mourinho, we all know Mourinho has to watch his minutes. Is he capable to play tomorrow? Who knows? It's all down to how Gareth Bale's body holds up and how he feels, to be honest. For me, look, I think maybe not play him tomorrow and have him ready for Palace. I do think, that's the game we need him for, and then rest him that week then for the Europa League game and bring in or rest him for the Europa League game and save him for the Arsenal game. That's my opinion on how Mourinho should manage Bale. But everyone else, get in the comment section, let me know your opinion. If Bale doesn't start right wing, then Lamela and Moura in the middle, or Dele. Look, I would actually go Dele in the middle and put Moura out on the right.
David, I think I'm going to disagree with you there, actually. I think Lucas Moura, I think if you're going to play him, I think you have to put it down the middle, because we've seen he's more involved. He's a lot more effective down the middle. I really do believe that. And when you put him out wide, he just goes so anonymous in games. He really does. We've seen it. So whenever he's played out on the wing this season, he's been so anonymous, just running down blind alleys, essentially. So for me, I think he should, when he plays, he should be playing in the middle. And the way he's been playing lately, he's been brilliant in the middle. That's just my opinion anyway. What do you think about that, David?
No, look, I think, Lucas has been brilliant down the middle. I do agree with you. But for me, look, I think the reason why Dele didn't play the weekend is probably because he probably is in contention to start in the middle against Fulham, and that Lucas might head out right, or maybe Lamela might start. And this brings me on. But Paul, look, I really hope you like what we talked about there with your comment on your super chat. And big up for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. Like I says, it all helps going to this channel, making it more professional, making it more marketable, so that we can get sponsors and everything else in, and really take this Harris Army to the very top. But on Lamela, that brings me to this guy here, Will Stewart. What a legend this guy is. He's brilliant. He's really on a Lamela crusade at the minute, and he's making sure all the Spurs fan base hear him. He's on Twitter. He's doing it on my channel. He's doing it on Matt's channel, and he's also doing it on We Are Tottenham TV. I absolutely love his commitment. Basically, look, like I was on with Winks and Davies, trying to show people that they weren't good enough. He's on the same course with Lamela. So big up. He says, I'm sorry, but any fan who wants to drop Moura after 3 returns, in his last 3 starts is being silly. Please don't mention Lamela in the same breath. No, look, for me, I agree with you. I think Lucas has been on a great run of form. You know what I mean? And he deserves to start. While he's in that form, you start him and you play him. That's obvious. But with Gareth Bale, you're going to have to manage his minutes. And for me, I do think maybe that Dele will be the one to slot in. If not, your guy Lamela that you're on the crusade with, you know, I do think maybe he will play. That's just my opinion. Don't shoot me for it. And one thing I will say is, Will, you know, look, I 100% agree with you. You know, you've convinced me on the Lamela thing. But we do need him till the end of the season. It's the same with Winks and Davies. You know what I mean? Whether they're good enough or not. Unfortunately, we do need them till the end of the season. What do you make on that, Charlie?
Yeah, I think the situation is, I actually think Lamela's been better out wide this season whenever he's played. I think it's been weird. It's been sort of opposite between him and Lucas. I think, as I said, I've criticised both of them, and rightly so probably in the past. But I think recently they've both been playing very well, more so Mora, I believe. No, look, I think it's weird because I think Lucas is actually a lot better in the number 10 than out wide. But then Lamela, for me, is better out wide than he is in the number 10 position from what I've seen so far this season. So, look, I think Mora, he doesn't deserve to be dropped. I think that goes by the same with other players that probably don't deserve to be dropped. And I'll probably stick, as long as the likes of Bale and Reguillon and Aurier, as long as their fitness is up to scratch, I'd probably stick with the same starting 11 to the one that played against Burnley, because that's the whole idea with football. You want to build momentum. You want to not chop and change everything. You want to try and build momentum. And after a 4-0 win, I think you can't make too many changes at all, because you just want to try and build some sort of momentum there.
Yeah, no, look, I agree with you. For me, I would stick to the same 11 as much as possible, but you know, we do have the Europa League. So we have to keep one eye on that. So we are going, like, this is what we were talking about at the start of the season, Charlie, where we needed the likes of, you know, Winks and Davies, Sanchez, players like that to be stepping up, because this is what we were afraid of. Like, you know, because we were addressing how poor they were in them games. You know, this is what we're afraid of. When it does come to crunch time and we really do need to rotate, these guys aren't capable of coming in because they're not.
Although, what I will say is recently, the likes of Lamela and Lucas, who probably fell into that bracket for the majority of this season, have actually started to step up a lot lately, including Gareth Bale as well as another one that I don't think's been stepping up for a lot of this season, to be honest. And I think recently, the other attacking players, I think they have stepped up quite a bit lately. So of course, Lucas Moura got 2 goals in 2 games. Same with Gareth Bale, he's really hit form lately. So I think you can even put Sanchez, to be honest, because he had a really good game against Burnley. And look, I don't want to get carried away with Sanchez, because it was up against Burnley's second choice strike force. But however, you can only beat what's put in front of you. And I think it was a great performance from Sanchez. I thought he was extremely dominant there at the back. And I think for me, he deserves another start in this game. Not alongside Dyer. I'll make that clear. Do not put him alongside Dyer. It has to be alongside Toby. Because as I said, Sanchez, he needs, for him to have any hope of not making mistakes, he needs to have an experienced centre-back next to him. And for me, that guy's Toby from what we've got at the club. So, despite, Sanchez, he deserves to play. I think he does deserve to start again. However, please do not let it be alongside Eric Dyer. It has to be alongside Toby.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with Toby, you know, he doesn't look like he's capable for...
That's the worry. That's the worry. I am worried
3 games a week, you know what I mean? And that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's a major problem. But Will Stewart, I hope that answered your super chat, man. We have another super chat here from the BG. He says, Bale was mesmerising. For me, more talented than Kane. Look, we all have to admit, Bale was unbelievable. It was that explosiveness, you know, that wonder of a left foot of his. You know, and look, he scored some amazing goals. You know, we've seen him do some amazing things at the lane. You know, even for Real Madrid. And I agree with you, he's been mesmerising. But for me, look, you know me, the BG. I love Harry Kane. I love seeing that number 10. I love it when his hair is to perfection. It means he's going to score. You know what I mean? So for me, it is all about Kane. But, you know, for me, it's a very tough debate. It is a very tough debate. Big up Will Stewart here again with another super chat. Absolutely legend. Lamela needs to be on the wing as a sub to defend. Look, for me, would I start him against Fulham? It's a tough one, you know, because... You know, he gets on the ball, he does this amazing bit of skill, and then, you know, when the moment comes to do the right thing, lay it off. He just loses the
He
ball.
holds on. He holds on to it for too long. Way too long.
Or he holds on for it for too long. And this has been Lamella's problem. You know what I mean? Like we found ourselves with a cluster of players that have no consistency. And this is a major problem. And that's why 1 week to the next, you don't really know what you're going to get. But for me, no. Would I start him? No, I wouldn't. Honestly, I'd bring in Dele and play Lucas. That would be my opinion. What would yours be, Charlie?
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, I'd stick with the same. I'd stick with the same starting lineup. To be honest, I really would. Obviously, if all fitness issues are not a concern, I'd stick with the same starting lineup, and that of course means Gareth Bale again. I think we really need the points in this game, as I said. So hopefully Gareth Bale is fit to start, because I think we really do need him in this game. I think, as I said, I had Lucas in the number 10. No, I don't want to give away my whole predicted lineup, because we're gonna get into that in a minute. But I wouldn't change much at all. I really wouldn't.
No, neither would I. We have a comment here from Cody Mack. He says, everyone make sure to hit the like button. Really help these legends with the algorithms. Big up. Great comment, man. And thanks so much for all the super chats so far. You know what I mean? Look, guys, when the chat hots up, everybody knows I try to get their comments up on screen. But when the chat hops up, super chats take priority, and we will stop exactly what we're doing and discussing them. And speaking of that, we have one in here from Paul Markey. Before we get down to that, I just want to welcome a few people. Costas Panic Kalau. Look, if you wait to the end, I'll give you your score prediction like I do for every preview. The score prediction comes at the end. So look, make sure you stay tuned to the end. But look, we'll get on to this super chat here from Paul Markey. He says, to play with a centre back, you need confidence with your partner. You don't get that with Dyer. No, look, for me,
spot on. Yeah, completely agree.
For me, Toby and Dyer, they worked up until November, and then Dyer just completely went off course. And look, it's no surprise with this guy. Look, I was backing him. I was trying to pretend everything was rosy when it, like trying to back him, saying he was playing well, he deserved to play it. But, since that Chelsea game, he's just been god-awful. And this is the problem with Dyer again, and it's the problem with a load of these players, is the consistency. Again, from 1 week to the next, you don't know what you're going to get. Dyer could be man in the match 1 week and playing in Nike Vapors, and then the next week you could be walking around with moon boots. Do you know what I mean?
We gave him a 10 out of 10.
On the pitch.
We gave him a 10 out of 10 in the win against Man City. Remember, we gave him a 10 out of 10. I can't believe that.
Yeah, 100%. But look, Paul Markey, what I'd say to you is, I was going to say this at the end. But for me, look, Toby is crucial, and I'm going to tell you why now before I get on to more team news.
His passing
Toby
as well,
is crucial is because he's passing out. He's passing out from the back. When teams press us, he can go long, direct, straight in behind. He can spread it left. He can spread it right. He's also comfortable enough to keep the ball and get it into his midfielders, which means then Højbjerg and Ndombele aren't spending their game running around chasing the ball. They're on the ball, which means they can conserve energy. Then when you have Reguillon left back and Aurier right back, you can get on the ball, you can pass it out from the back. When you're Davies and Doherty, you can't do it because it takes them two, 3 touches to get it under control. And then they're just hoofing it long because all their options are gone because teams can press us. So this is why Toby's important. But as well, we need his leadership. We need his experience. We need his IQ. We need everything he's picked up and learned over the years. What do you think, Charlie?
Yeah, I completely agree. As I said, he's the most experienced centre-back we've got. And I think he has to be alongside either, I don't know, Dyer, Sanchez, Rodon, whoever it may be. I think he has to be in there. One, because of his ability, and two, I think very importantly, his experience, because he can guide through. You saw against Burnley, he sort of was guiding Sanchez through that game. And I think he was a big reason to why Sanchez played as well as he did, because he had that experienced head next to him with a really good football IQ, and that's something which someone like Dyer doesn't have. If you put look, Sanchez is the same. I've said this for ages, although what I will say is he was good against Burnley, as I said, but hopefully he can continue that. However, the problem is with Dyer, the thing is with Dyer and Sanchez, like I think what I will say is I think Dyer is more sort of I don't know. It's weird. Well, they're both very prone to mistakes. It's that simple. But I just think, I think Dyer's more sort of capable of just an extremely awful moment, if you know what I mean. I think Sanchez's mistakes are more genuinely in play, if you know what I mean, through open play. But with Dyer, it's more giving away a penalty. Although having said that, Sanchez did that at Old Trafford, but still, I just think Dyer's more capable of just doing something silly, like nearly lobbing Lloris that time, something like that. But however, I think both of them, I've said this, both of them haven't been good enough at all for the majority of this season. However, as I said, I think Sanchez should play in this game against Fulham, and I hope he can sort of go on a good run of form. But I think the jury is still very out on Sanchez. It really is. I think there's still a lot of unanswered questions. For me, I'm still massively on the fence with him, to be honest. But with Dyer, I just don't think he should be anywhere near this team because he's not helping Sanchez, to be honest. You look at Sanchez, he's the younger out of the two of them. I know Sanchez has made a lot of mistakes, but I think he's really not helped by someone like Dyer, who's meant to be the more experienced head alongside him. He's really not helped by that. And who would be really it's for me, Dyer just should not be playing for this football club. I think he should be down at the bottom of the pecking order. I think you should put Rodon and Tanganga ahead of him, to be honest. But I do worry in the sense that Toby, as we said, can't play 3 games in a week, and I'm scared. I'm scared that Eric Dyer is going to come back in. I am scared about that.
Yeah, so am I. Well, look, at the end of the day, what option? This is another thing I want to say. So big up Paul Markey. Thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. I seen a comment from Island Life saying he'd love to put one in, but it's not available in his region. Look, there's no pressure to put the super chats in whatsoever. Like I said, I know some people aren't in a position, some people can't because it's not available in the region. You know what I mean? So don't worry, I will try and get everybody's comment up on screen. I know everyone likes the comment to be read out, but super chats do help as well. So thanks very much, Paul Markey. I really, really do appreciate it. But look, Charlie. So for me, look, we know that Toby can't play the 3 games in a week. It is concerning, but what choice does Mourinho have but to manage it and play Dyer and Sanchez tomorrow, or Rodon and Sanchez? What option does he have? Because
I think obviously
he can't play a player isn't up to the task.
I think there is a chance Toby will play tomorrow, and then he'll play tomorrow, and then he won't play against Palace. I think for me, I'd rather Toby tomorrow because on paper, I think. On paper and based on performances this season, I do think out of the 2 games, I think the Fulham game's tougher. I think that's the tougher game out of the 2 of them, in my opinion anyway. So I think I'd start Toby for this one. I really would. I'd get Toby in for this game. I think he's so important to the way we play because we're going to need his passing out from the back. Because he's one of the only competent defenders we've got that can play out from the back. So we're really going to need that in this game because of the way Fulham are. We need to sort of play around Fulham. They're the type of team where they're a very physical side, Fulham. But if you can sort of play around them with quick passing, good technical ability, I think you can sort of get in behind them, picking up the pockets of space. And I think Toby's a massive part of that because, as we said, he can put his long balls on and he can pass out from the back. So I think the game against Fulham, for me, he has to play.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree with you. For me, I would play him. I think maybe against Palace, not playing, resting for the Europa League. But for me, I would play tomorrow just to get that win and try and pick up that momentum. But look, that brings me into some more team news. But before I get into that, I do have a super chat here from Kev. Kev Williams, big up Kev Williams. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. Ireland Life. I'm getting this one. One for you, Yeah. Thanks very much, man. I really do appreciate it. And Island Life, make sure you give Kev a big thank you very much. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much, man. You're a gentleman. I really do appreciate it. Kev, like I said, true ambassador of the Harris Army, along with Will, Paul Markey, Wayne Bonner, the BG, THFC game, and Spartan 7 game, and all people like that. Absolute legends. You're helping make this channel really take a more professional look. And I do have some more things coming up down the line. I'm going to let you on a sneak preview of something I was planning is every Saturday morning, maybe doing a show called The Spurs Breakfast. Starts at 10 and runs till 11:30. I bring on a guest every week. We talk about, Tottenham, maybe do a few little fun games and that, and maybe for the last half an hour, have people calling in. That's something I was thinking about. Let me know if you guys, if it's something that, you'd be up for. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, let me know. Welcome, Joseph THFC 81. Welcome, Tino Tende Chikazi. Big up, everybody. Really do appreciate all the comments and the love you've been showing me out here. It really doesn't go unnoticed. But look, back on team news. Bale, as far as I'm aware, it's actually reported that he doesn't really have any problems, and that he could actually be in contention to start. So for Fulham, their captain Tom Kearney, he's out. Mitrovic is back in contention. He was on the bench against Palace. He didn't come on, but he's returning from COVID, so he is on the bench. But he is in contention to start as well. And for me, I think they probably should start him, because set pieces is a massive problem for us. And,
it is.
I think they could really capitalize on us playing this guy. What do you think?
Mitrovic hasn't actually been a massive part of their plans this season under Scott Parker. He's not started many games at all. It's been mostly, I think, since they brought in Josh Maja, the striker, who scored 2 goals in a very, very impressive win against Everton. So he'd be someone I'd fear. Josh Maja. He looks a tidy player. He does. Obviously, he was, I think, Bordeaux out there in France. He looks a tidy player, Josh Maja. So, as well, Cavallero, they've tried up front. Lookman as well. Bobby Reed, all tried up front. And I think they've had more joy with that combination than they have done with Mitrovic, to be honest, because I'm not sure why. Of course, Mitrovic was a goal machine in the Championship, but for whatever reason, he hasn't been getting into the Fulham team a lot this season. But even without Mitrovic, they're still a big side for them. You got the likes of Joachim Andersen at centre-back. He looks a quality player. He really does. I really like the look of that Andersen at centre-back as well.
Yeah, he's on loan from Lyon.
Yeah, he is. So is Kenny Tete as well, another player on loan from Lyon. He looks a quality right back with a bit of height as well.
We're turn him from Tete to Titi tomorrow. That's what's going to happen.
Fingers crossed. Son will rip him inside out. Fingers crossed. As well, Anthony Robinson on the other side. He's a good left back, really pacey. Their other centre back. Who's their other centre back alongside Anderson? I'm trying to think.
It was Congolo, but he's out injured.
I'm not sure who it is, but even so, in midfield, the likes of Anguissa, I talked about him on the last stream. He's a good midfielder, and Harrison Reed as well. Harrison Reed was someone who I was really impressed with against Everton. I thought he was the best player on the park against Everton. I was really impressed with him, to be honest. And I think the way they are, they're sort of technical midfielders, and I think if we can sort of have Højbjerg and Ndombele up against them, I really do fancy our midfielders to win that battle. And if we can win that midfield battle, it will sort of open up a bit of space, a gap between the midfield and the defence. And that's where we could hurt Fulham, because I think that's the best. I think that's one of the best ways to win that midfield battle, because Fulham, as I said, they're a very tough nut to crack. They're a very difficult team to break down. So I think that could be sort of the key area for us to win that midfield battle tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I've actually been doing a bit of scouting on Fulham. I'm going to call this the Harris scouting segment. So, look, Fulham are actually 5 unbeaten at the minute. Their issue is turning... Huh?
They have 1 loss in their last 8 games.
Yeah, they're 5 unbeaten at the minute. Their issue is actually turning draws into wins. Like I said, they've only picked up 4 wins, but 11 draws. They've actually switched from a back 4, or from a back 5, in and out of possession, to a back 4 in and out of possession. And, it's changed results. It's worked. The only thing is they're struggling to take the chances they create.
Yeah, they're a very wasteful side for them.
Yeah, which is a major problem for Fulham, is the chances that they create. They don't take enough of them. But look, they brought in Josh Maja. He came in, he started well with his 2 goals against Everton. So he is going to be a threat tomorrow. Of course, he was the young lad at Sunderland that they sold to the French league at the time. So he is going to be big for them. If he gets a chance, I do back him to take it. Of course, Anderson, they brought in on loan. He's been a huge difference for them. He's come in, and basically he's got them defending well. And look, Fulham have took some big scalps this season. They've made themselves very hard to beat. But again, the problem is they don't get enough goals to go and win these games. And the reason why they switched from a back 5 to a back 4 was to give them more attacking prowess on the pitch. Now, you'd argue that it's worked. It's also tightened them up a bit more at the back. But they don't create enough chances. And, to me, if we can get Toby out there, Reguillon, Aurier, and whoever plays in beside Toby, I really do maybe see us keeping a clean sheet. They proved to us against Burnley that they can stay switched on. for set pieces. They can eliminate the mistakes. So if they can do that against Fulham, I really do predict us to take this one. And of course, Areola in goals for them. He's been huge. He's been in great form, and that's really concerning because we know what the goalkeepers are like. But Charlie, before I let you respond to that, I just want to take the BG's comment. BG here with the super chat. He says, "Only man with better hair than Kane is David Harris." No, look, I wish I had better hair than Kane. I'd say it's on par with Kane. I'd say I have a way better beard than anyone in the Tottenham squad. Definitely better than Dele Ali, who's looking like Borat at the minute. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I'm looking fresh. But thanks very much, BG, for the comment. You're an absolute legend. But, Charlie, do you want to comment on what I was just talking about there?
Yeah, so I was saying with... wait, what was it you said? It's just completely gone out of my head.
So look, I was saying that their issue basically is they don't score enough goals. They draw too many games. That's why they're actually just hovering above... hovering above there hovering around the relegation zone. If they turn more draws into wins, basically they'd be further up the league. They brought in Josh Maja, the striker that used to be playing for Sunderland. They came through at Sunderland. They brought in Anderson, and then their goalkeepers in form.
Yeah. So, of course, I was saying Areola. I really like the look of him as a goalkeeper. He had a good game against us last time, and he's had a very good season overall. Areola. So, yeah, and as you said, like, their performances, I think they should have a lot more wins than they do. I think they've just, although recently they have turned a couple of the draws into wins recently, of course, 2-0 against Everton, I think they got a win against Sheffield United as well. So they have got a couple of wins recently. And as you said, 5 unbeaten. They've only lost once in their last 8. And as I said, they're a tough nut to crack for them. They really are. And considering where they were at the start of the season, they've completely transformed their starting 11. So yeah, look, they are a team to watch out for. I think they've got some good players. I think they've got a very solid base. That's how I look at Fulham. They've got a base there, particularly the defence with the 2 fullbacks, as I said, Robinson and Tete. And then you look at the 2 centre backs, Anderson and I believe it is I can't remember who it is alongside Anderson. I'm not 100% sure, but they've got a solid base there. And you look at the midfield, Anguissa and Harrison Reed. So there's definitely a base there for them to build on. And as I said as well, they're attacking players. They're sort of physical, quick players that can get at you. However, as you said, they miss a lot of chances. And I think that could hopefully encourage us to play a bit further up tomorrow. Because I think, as I said, we have to go at them. We have to get at them tomorrow. Just like we did against Burnley. We have to repeat that again. And I think, for me, Fulham have players that are more sort of... If you compare Fulham and Burnley, I think Fulham have players which are more capable of getting them back into the game. Like, let's say they're losing 1 or 2-0. I think Fulham have more sort of players that can get them back in. The likes of Lookman can sort of create a bit of magic, if you look at that. Cheers, the regular. But yeah, no, I was saying they... so I think this will be a tougher game than the Burnley game. I do. But I think if we're on top, if we play like we did against Burnley, I think we'll come out of this with the win. I really do. And it's so important we do come out of this with the win.
100%. And we had a comment there from Mr. K. And true words never spoken, to be honest with you. Big up, man. Basically saying, with the Premier League from top to bottom, it's fine margins. And it's just having that bit of quality that kind of makes you a better team, basically. We also have Brandon Reynolds here. He says it's a sick show. I hope that's in a good way. In Ireland, sick means absolutely class. Oh, Charlie's back. Yeah, we're back, lads.
Yeah,
don't worry. Let's all calm down.
It just cut off there. I don't know why.
We have the BG says 37 likes, but 63 in the stream. Smash the like, guys. Yes, exactly. Smash that like. We have Carlos Diablo, 500 likes for David and Charlie to make an AFTF dish track. Look, some people would argue I don't need to because I already do it every week for free anyway.
David has them on strings every week, so I don't think we need to worry about that just yet.
Sure, saying we froze, but we're back now.
Come on, we are back again.
The stream got clapped. Look, we're back. We're back. The main thing is, I think it was just a problem on StreamYard's end. So look, there's the team news. There's our little bit about Fulham. But what I want to touch on next is more about us, Charlie. Look, I honestly think tomorrow night we're going to turn him from Scotty Parker to Scotty Starstruck. I believe once our front line rock up, they're all going to be in awe. They're all going to be starstruck. Like, for me, look, they deserve to be playing in better stadiums than a Craven Cottage. They're really doing our team a disservice. I don't like that. They should have built a special built stadium for this star-studded lineup coming there. You know what I mean? That's my opinion on it. But look, I genuinely do think we're going to win. But one thing I think reason why we're going to win is because last time we played them, we played a 4-3-3. This time we're switching to a 4-2-3-1. And I do believe it really does suit us better.
Yeah,
I really do.
Does.
I think, it gives us more flow. We're able to get on the ball more. We're able to create more. Obviously, with Gareth Bale coming in on the right wing, it makes us look 10 times better because we now have a threat down that side. And it's similar to the formation we were playing on the pitch, because I think with the 4-3-3, defensively it works, but going forward, it doesn't allow you to get enough numbers up the field. So do you think it's massive, and that's why we're seeing some of the results we are of late?
I think for me, the main thing is the midfield pivot of Højbjerg and Ndombele. I think that's been a massive part to why we've sort of improved. Our performances have improved, because since the Chelsea game, apart from the Burnley game, the results haven't quite been there. But I think the performances have improved a bit. And I think that's mostly down to the midfield two of Højbjerg and Ndombele, because it allows us to play out from the back and transition the ball from midfield to attack and from defence to midfield, because with having those two there, it gives the defenders someone to pass to, because both of them will come for the ball and then be able to sort of pick a pass. When you have someone like Sissoko or Winks in there, it forces us to go long because they're not showing for the ball enough. With Højbjerg and Ndombele, they're always going to show for the ball, which is why, as I said, we have to stick with that midfield too, because it's a quality. Think about it, that's a quality midfield too of Højbjerg and Ndombele. It really is, and I think that's been one of the main reasons why our performances have improved quite a bit lately, and hopefully now, just like against Burnley, the results can start to come, because I think that's been a massive part of it. It gives us more quality on the ball. It gives us more. We just look a lot better on the ball with them too. I think we look a lot more fluid, and as I said, it allows us, by dropping Ndombele deeper with Højbjerg, it allows us to have another attacking player in there, and I think that's been one of the main reasons why we've looked a lot better going forward lately, because of that midfield too. It's just been so important to the way we've been playing lately. It really has. I think that's been the main feeling for me, that that midfield too has been the massive crucial. It's been really crucial for us.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, and it gives us different options to pass. I think with the 4-3-3, what was happening, we were all bunched up in the one area, and it wasn't giving us enough space out the pitch, enough out balls. So I do think the 4-2-3-1 is very important. I do think that change in system has really, really helped. The next thing I want to talk about is, Charlie, look, can Fulham handle this Spurs attack?
Hopefully not. Hopefully they can't handle us. Look, as I said, I think if we're on it, I think we can. I think if we're on it attacking wise, I think we can be a threat to anyone in the world. If you have an on-form Bale, an on-form Kane, and an on-form Son, I think that's just as good as any attacking trio in world football. I really, really do believe that. So, yeah, if they're on form, I think Fulham will struggle. I do, against us. And as Mr. K here says, Lookman's an interesting one, because he's a type of player that can sort of create magic. He can just sort of get a goal out of nothing, if you know what I mean, Lookman. So he's definitely a threat for us going the other way. But on our attack, I think, as I said, Fulham are a tough nut to crack. But however, if we can have sort of an on-form Bale, an on-form Kane, an on-form Son, an on-form Lucas, and an on-form Ndombele, that five, obviously with Højbjerg as the other midfielder, but that five, attacking-wise, if they're all on it tomorrow, I think they can break down any team in world football. And I think if they're on it like they were against Burnley, then I back us to break down for them and hopefully come away with the win. I really, really do believe that. But look, as I said, it will be tough. They're tough for anyone to break down. You saw against United, only narrowly beat them. Chelsea, they should have beaten Chelsea that day. It was just a red card that just sort of let them down. So they do always give the top teams a game. So I think they will be difficult to break down. But if we can get everyone on form, I think our quality can hopefully come out in this game to pull us through.
Yeah, 100%. I fully agree with you. Look, for me, look, they can have all the defence they want. If Kane, Son, Lucas, and Bale are all on fire, there's no stopping them. We've seen that with Burnley. For me, look, I really am confident. I do think their defence is going to struggle up against a fit firing Tottenham lineup. Even if you rest one of them and bring in Dele, I still think we're going to cause them a lot of problems. I think we're confident now. I think, the confidence has flown through the veins. When the confidence flows through the veins, it doesn't matter what defence you have there, you're going to find a way. So I do truly believe that. We have Mr. K. He's asking Will Stewart what the stats are about Fulham. So Will Stewart, if you have any stats, make sure to get them in. He asks another question here, David and Charlie. Are you feeling a little better about Aurier? He has been putting it in this season compared to last year. Anyone won over now? No, look, I do agree.
Yeah, I completely agree.
He's been a lot better. He's been so much better this year than what he has last year. But am I won over? No, I do think if we could get in, one or two right backs, I would ship him out. I do think, over the course of his time at Tottenham, he's cost us more than what he's ever done save us. That's my opinion. But look, this season he has turned it around. He's been a lot better. But for how long? That's my question with this guy, Charlie.
I think he's been a lot better than Doherty, and I mean a lot better than Doherty. I think this season, barring a couple mistakes, as we know, I think this has been his best season at Spurs. If you compare it, I thought in his first season, I was very unimpressed, extremely unimpressed in his first season.
Just quickly there, Charlie. Marcelo, if this is actually the real Marcelo, I'm not sure whether it is. If you want to come on, and I'll get Charlie to send you over the link, my man. Sorry, Charlie, go on.
No, I was saying that that I think with Aurier, I think this season's been his best season so far. I think, as I said, his first season I was very unimpressed. Second season as well. Last season I thought was probably better than the first two. However, he was getting more assists and stuff, but there was still the mistakes in there last season. I feel this season he has cut out some of the mistakes. He's improved. However, there has been one or two, like you saw the one against Leicester, against West Ham as well. There has been a couple, but however, I think it's been a lot less than what it was last season and the season before that, I feel. So I think, look, Aurier, he's definitely our starting right back. And I think him and Reguillon have become a very, very good fullback pairing because we can get them bombing up and down the pitch. And they give us more so Reguillon in the final third. We know the situation with Aurier's crossing, but I think Aurier can get up and down quite nicely. Same with Reguillon. Reguillon has been outstanding. He really has. And I think the partnership of Aurier and Reguillon is definitely the one we have to persist with because Doherty and Davies just haven't done it whatsoever. And I think the other two, Aurier and Reguillon, for me, they've been very good this season, especially Reguillon and Aurier as well. He's been brilliant. Both of them have been very good this season. Probably, for me, I'll probably say this could be probably the best fullback pairing we've had potentially since Rose and Walker. I think, I'm not saying it's on that level. It's not on that level, but I think since then it's gone so downhill. I think this one, we're finally sort of looking up a bit on the fullback sense that this is probably, I'm not saying it's on that level because it isn't. Maybe Reguillon is close. Maybe Reguillon is close to prime Rose. But I don't think this Aurier is anywhere near prime Walker. But I think this is probably the best we've had since then. I really do believe that because since then it's just gone downhill. But now finally we're sort of getting somewhere with the fullback situation.
100% agree with you, Charlie. Will you send on Marcelo the link?
Sure.
Let's get Marcelo on the Tottenham hype man. And guys, look, make sure you send in a super chat. We have the super stickers available there as well. Make sure you send your super chats in. Get your opinions in. Get your questions in for the panel, whether it be from me, Marcelo, or Charlie. Let us know your thoughts on everything we've discussed here so far. Look, I will be going on to a predicted lineup now in a minute. And then after that, then I want to talk on Bale, why Bale is actually important to this attack line. And then we'll be doing a score prediction as well. But look, we're going to take a few more comments. Simon Coleman, first game watching Spurs in the late 60s. Some sod nicked my scarf off my neck. Oh, Jesus, lad, that look, that's a bit rough, you know what I mean? But look, honestly, if someone went to rob my scarf, I think there's no question what I'd do there, to be honest with you. Let's just say he'd be left on the ground fairly quickly. Sean Mitchell need to stay switched on for full 90 against Fulham.
Yeah, 100%.
Fulham are so dogged, they keep fighting right to the final whistle and come punish us. We have a habit of switching off. Yeah, no, 100%.
Exactly.
I agree
Fulham are
with you.
scrapping for every point. Every point they're scrapping for at the moment.
No, 100%. And this has been the problem, John, is switching off, getting punished for it, not killing off the games when we also had the chance. So look, hopefully we've got over that hurdle. Hopefully we've got over that bridge, and hopefully we can take it to them and absolutely smash them. Because tomorrow, so I can tell you one thing: Scotty Starstruck will be getting a wedgie. I'm not messing me up. Will Stewart here. Basically replying to Mr. K, so I hope that keeps you happy, lad. Fulham have been defending well. They have only conceded 3 goals in their last 6, with West Ham and Leicester their toughest sides. So there you are, Mr. K. Big up, Will, by the way. We have Reece Dawson. Results went our way, and now I'm scared. Yeah, you know what that means. When results go our way, we tend to bottle it. We tend to not push on. It's a big problem. We've seen it time and time again, especially when we're up around the top. Especially sometimes this season going for the top 4 as well. It's been a major problem. So we do need to get that addressed. Nurse, thoughts on Lo Celso in training? Look, basically, Nurse. Sorry to be short, but my only thoughts is get on the pitch. We have Mr. K thanking Will Stewart, so they're getting solid in defence, even if they can't score enough for staying in the Prem. Yeah, look, I don't know. I still think they go through another bad run, and I still do think they are in danger of getting relegation. Because I'm not going to lie, not getting the wins, it's a major problem. But guys, make some noise. Let's bring him in. It's our guy, Marcelo.
Marcelo, in the car.
In the car this time. No room.
How are you keeping?
I'm doing good. I'm just getting off work, so I just thought, why not? Why not hop on?
Yeah, why not, lad? We're delighted to see you. Look, I don't know how much of it you've listened to, but what you have heard so far, what are you thinking for tomorrow?
I think we're on for a good game. I think, Bale, Son, Kane, I think they're both looking, excellent. I think with Mora and Dele playing that rotation, I think that number 10 is always going to be fresh. I think we're on for a good game. I think if those 3 show up, we're on for a good game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there with you guys because my boss, he called me up last minute. He said he needed me, so
Look, maybe it might rain from the heavens tomorrow.
I don't think it will. The weather here is sunny, so I doubt it. But look, I think we're on for a good game. Of course, I still figure out a way to watch it. I always do. I never miss a game, regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I think the key is our defense, making sure not to make a stupid individual error. Being mentally strong, and I think the front 3 showing up. I think if that front 3 shows up, we can beat anybody. Honestly, I think how we're looking right now, attacking wise, I've actually been very happy. I think since the Everton game, we looked very good. I think since the Everton game, I think attacking wise, we've actually looked very good. I think it was unfortunate with the City game. I think we were just burnt out, but since then, I think attacking wise, we can open up anybody. I just think it's just the defense. The only thing that worries me is the defense, because Fulham are going to be a lot better than Burnley offensively. They are a more expansive team. They like to get attack more. They like to get in the front foot. They're a lot pacier than Burnley. So I think guys like Toby, maybe they could get exploited. Sanchez is going to have to be, if he does play, which I think he will, I think he's going to have to be positionally aware.
Yeah.
It's all about the defense because, listen, as good as we looked against Burnley, I still think that they had a couple of chances that, for me, I didn't like from our defense. I think my issue is, I think our right-hand side, my issue with Aurier and even Doherty is that they let in crosses way too easily.
Yeah.
Way too easily. They let in
Aurier and Reguillon.
Easily. Yeah. And in my opinion is our center backs, for some reason, they can't jump. They just can't jump. They couldn't have.
Well, Dyer can't. I thought Sanchez was against Burnley and Toby, but when Dyer plays, he can't.
No. Listen, don't let that performance fool you. Sanchez needs a GPS tracker to find the ball.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. I'm not getting
that's
carried
his
away.
nickname.
I'm not getting carried away with that. As I said, I'm still well out on the jury with Sanchez, but hopefully he can put in another good performance. But
hopefully, but
Yeah.
I think the issue is with Spurs fans. Look, I love our fan base, but one of these guys have one good performance, and then all of a sudden, no, he's irreplaceable. You can't
No.
sell him.
Oh God.
You
You just get too carried away, our fan base. It's one game.
It's like you start creeping up, and you're like, hold on a second, this guy has,
You have to take it game by game.
Yeah,
People get too carried away.
Yeah, you can't let my jury on Sanchez. Personally, I think Toby just makes all of our defenders look good.
Yeah, he does.
Honestly,
he does.
I think if you put Sanchez with a Dyer, with a Taganga, anybody else, he gets exposed because, in my opinion, Toby's passing from the back. He's the only He's the only center back that can pass from the back.
Yeah.
If you notice, every fucking time he plays, there is no, great press against us because they respect Toby's pings. They respect Toby's, passing from the back because they know if they mess up or they leave, spaces open, they will capitalize. And I think Mourinho, he did a really good job in also putting a no-baller at number 8, which is the position I always call.
That's been the key, yeah. Him and Højbjerg in the pivot has been massive. Yeah. It really has.
Exactly. Because every time, it was always either Sanchez, Dyer, or Sissoko misplacing a pass. And with that, you're never going to get the ball into the midfield. You know what I mean? Or to the forwards. You're never. All we relied on was, stupid long balls that Dyer kept sending. And that was never going to work out. So I think Toby and a no-baller, I think they have to play because they're the only, also Højbjerg, they're the only guys that can really get the ball to the forwards, other than Reguillon. I think Reguillon also does a great job at driving the ball. So I think with those players, they're really key to our defense and also to our counterattack. So I think as long as those guys play, we stand a really good chance with Fulham because honestly, the most important thing is getting the ball to those front 3 because I believe Bale, Son, and Kane can score against anybody, and I mean anybody. They can stretch out absolutely anybody. They're such a good front 3. It's so good to finally see it coming into fruition. But yeah, go read that super chat.
100%.
Yeah, it's from Will Stewart. Big up, Will. Absolute legend. Our fan base must take emotion out of their punditry. Not only in-form players, but out of form as well. Fans of the club first, club before players. Yeah, look, Will, it's exactly what I've been preaching, what Marcelo's been preaching, Charlie's been preaching, although I think Charlie sometimes might have been swayed by the whole business debate. But look, for me, I agree with you. Football is not without the fans. And what backs me up is that BT Sport done a documentary video last night. It aired at 10:30, and it's exactly what they were saying. Their club needs the fans. So never, ever, ever forget that. People that tell you, football can survive, it's surviving throughout lockdown. The only reason why it's surviving throughout lockdown is because they know that they have the fans to go back to that's going to help them out of all this trouble. You know what I mean? So they best start doing what the fans want them to do. And I agree. Look, again, it's something else that me and Marcelo and Charlie have been preaching religiously, absolutely religiously, that, look, when it comes to a player, take emotion out of it, this homegrown, he's loyal, he causes no problems.
For God's sake.
You know what I mean? He loves sitting there warming the bench.
That's the problem with our fan base sometimes. We're the only club that give excuses to average players, and that's why some of our fans are part of the problem.
Look, it has to end because eventually, look, you can say, oh, yeah, Mourinho, get top four, but you making these excuses. Look, let's get real here for a second, right? Top 4 is not guaranteed in this fucking Premier League, all right? Let's take our,
No, that's a trophy, Marcelo. Do not know that. That's the new trophy around town.
That's what Arsene Wenger said. That's what Arsene Wenger said.
Don't get me wrong. I think top 4 is an important
it's important, but it's not a trophy.
But it attracts players. It's important.
Achievement, I would say. I think, getting top 4 will be important, especially for this season financially.
And I think it attracts players.
Champions League football. But the thing is that people don't understand is that these guys that say that they want top 4 makes the same excuse for Ben Davies as to why he's a good, backup left back. Yeah, he's a squad player. Listen, you have too many squad players. You're not going to end up in top 4. You're going to end up in top fucking 10. All right? It's time to wake up. It's time to smell the coffee. It's time to realize, no. Lamela is not good enough because he runs around and puts in a couple of tackles. No. We need fucking quality in this Tottenham Hotspurs team. Enough is enough, because guess what? Man United, Everton, Leicester, all these other fucking teams are looking at quality. They're not looking at Lamela.
We're sleepwalking.
Lamela, he goes around.
Although Leicester do have Michael Brighton out on the wing still after all these years. Look, not every player is going to have a French player. It's impossible not to. But we have about 8 to 10 fucking French players in this team. That's the issue. That's the problem. I agree.
We have too many players here that overstay.
Too many passengers. There's too many passengers.
Exactly. And my opinion is, our fan base, we find any excuse like, oh, Sanchez, he's still 24. He can put in the good tackles.
The main one's for Winks.
He's not playing well, and that's Jose Mourinho's fault because he's not a daddy figure.
What is it for Winks? Oh, Winks, he's homegrown. He loves the club. Well, if he really loved the club, he wouldn't only care about the Euros. He'd come out and say, I want to play for Tottenham, not just for England. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Winks is the biggest problem with our fan base. Like, he's the one that gets the most excuses, I feel, for Winks. Honestly,
but Will Stewart. Well, hold on. Will Stewart said it best. Look, Will Stewart said it best. If you want to get these trophies, you want to get top 4, you got to cut the sentimental shit out of it.
Yeah,
cut the sentimental crap. I want players that are quality, because I'm looking at the league right now. I see all these other players, all right? I see all these other clubs getting stronger, getting better. You look at Villa, they got a bunch of new players.
They lost today.
You look at Everton, and you look, and soon enough, you keep making excuses. Those clubs will overpass us. Let me tell you something. Top 6, you want to stick as a top 6 club, you got to be fucking ruthless. You got to go for the fucking throat, man.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Top 6 is not guaranteed. Remember Everton in the 80s, in the 70s, they used to win a lot of League Cups. They were considered top 6. They were considered top 6 at one point. Remember who was it? Villa, back in the old days. They used to be considered a top 6. Remember Leeds. Remember all these other fucking clubs. They used to be considered top 6. But then they couldn't cut the sentimental shit. You got to cut the sentimental shit. Get real players of quality. Start recruiting. Start building a new foundation. Start backing your managers, or else we will fall into obscurity and we will not be a top 6 club no more. Because history can only carry you so far. I'm telling you, look at fucking Arsenal right now. I do not want to end up like Arsenal.
No, 100%.
I agree. Spot on, Marcelo. Spot on.
Absolutely spot on. Look, we're the only club that, praises Ben Davies for sitting on the bench taking 60, 80 grand a week, and praise him for not kicking up a fuss. Of course he's not kicking up a fuss, because the guy's
he's not good enough to play for Tottenham, so he's happy to sit on the bench.
One second, lads. We're not all talking over each other. Look, the guy can't even kick a football, let alone kick up a fuss. Of course he's not going to kick up a fuss. He's been playing 60, 80 grand for a level that he shouldn't be at. Harry Winks, he's been able to live off Tottenham for the last 6, 8 years because he's homegrown. It's the only club this happens at. But Will Stewart says here, another excuse we make, high work rate, and I know that's to do with Lamela. Of course, Will Stewart still on his Lamela. He's Lamela Brigade. Absolutely brilliant, Will Stewart. Love it. We have another super chat in here from the regular. Jose plays Dyer because he speaks Portuguese. Look, sometimes it feels like that, it really does feel like that sometimes. But look, we all know that Toby is not a 3-game-a-week player. So for me, look, he's no option but to play Dyer. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to use Roden in Europa League squad, which means, Roden hasn't been able to get games and repetition in his legs. So it's very hard to expect Roden to come in out of the cold. How dare I, Marcelo's in the building, the Welsh Maldini. Come in out of the cold and start performing. It's very hard to expect that of him. But look, lads, I suppose we'll get into our predicted lineup Charlie, have you anything you wanted to say there on everything there that we were talking about? And big up the regular for the super chat, lad. Really appreciate it. Everyone else, get your super chats in. It really helps the cause.
Yeah, yeah,
Charlie?
yeah. I was just going to say, yeah, Marcelo was completely spot on with what he said, because as I said, I think we've got too many passengers in this team. It's that simple. You look at Ben Davies, Sissoko, Winks. These guys should not be anywhere near a club of our standards. Nope. They should not be anywhere near it whatsoever. These guys aren't even championship standard, and I'm not joking, because people say, yeah, Davies, he's average. For me, he's worse than average, and I'll tell you why. Because you say he's average, right? All right, if he's average, he's meant to look good against average opposition. He looks shit against average opposition. So that means he's worse than average. If you're average, you're meant to look good against players are at your level, if you know what I mean. He doesn't even look good against players at his level, you know what I mean? That's the problem, as I've been saying to everyone. And I think the Dyer thing, it does feel like that sometimes. That is he actually only getting picked because he bloody speaks one word of Portuguese or whatever it is? Like, honestly, I
think Mourinho must have had an affair somewhere down the line. Maybe it's
also David. There's a comment here. It's from, I think, Haytam. It says can't wait. No, not that one. The previous one he put in. It says can't wait to see Skip replace Winks. Yeah, this one. Yeah, completely agree with this one, and I can't wait for that next season, because Skip again he got another man of the match for Norwich today after their 1-0 win against Brentford. Very, very good performance from him again, and he's done more than Winks has ever done in his football career. So yeah, I'm spot on with that comment as well. I can't wait either.
100%. Marcelo, we have the BG here saying watching Marcelo's journey home from work is one of life's greatest pleasures. To be honest with you, I actually did sit back and enjoy watching you come home from work for some reason. It was actually quite nice. Marcelo with his road rage. We have Will Stewart. What is Charlie's Twitter? I'll send him some info. I did get your message there, but unfortunately, when I'm doing it on my phone, so I can't access it. But I will get onto it. But Charlie, do you want to get up the predicted lineup so we can get into the predicted lineup?
First of all, Will, my Twitter is CharlieTHFC1 with a 1 at the end. If that's my Twitter for you, if you want to hit me up there. So yeah, look, I'll get the predicted lineup now, and if I can share my screen here.
100%. So look, guys, we're going to do the predicted lineup. Then I want to talk about it's no surprise that these results we've been getting of late is because we have our best players back and they're in the starting 11, and we're not relying on these squad players, these 7 out of 10s when they come in, even though results and goals conceded dramatically increase, results decrease, and then just get a score prediction, and that's it really. But Charlie, look, we'll go with the predicted lineup now. So look, in goals, lads, and everyone else in the comment section, join in. Let us know exactly who you want to see. So look, goalkeeper. We'll start with the goalkeeper, lads.
Only one man. You go.
It's Hugo Lloris, 100%. There's not really a talking point there, really. You know what I mean?
No head and shoulders.
No head and shoulders.
No, look, head and shoulders. Look, for me, the only reason why he's at Tottenham is because I think maybe they were hoping to get head and shoulders for a sleeve sponsor or something like that. Look, at the end of the day, for me, I just don't trust the guy. There's, his career took a massive dramatic U-turn, massively went downhill. He couldn't stop the slide. So for me, that shows, there is issues there with the player. And look, I just don't trust him. He's walking shampoo advert. That's all he is.
Hugo's number one. Hugo plays. Hugo number one.
Yeah. Hugo is number one. Massively, but we do need to start looking for his long-term replacement too, because I can tell you now what's going to happen is Hugo will head off to PSG for about 20-25 million this summer, and Gazaniga's been loaned out to get first-team games, so he'll come in as number one with Joe Hart still deputising. That's what I think on the situation. But look, we're going to move on to right back. For me, I want to see Aurier play. Yeah. To be honest with you, I think we need to bring Aurier in.
Yeah.
I think he had a very good game against Burnley. For me, we look a lot better when he plays there than what Doherty does. But what do you think, Charlie?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Aurier, he's obviously good to have him back. Gives us a much better attacking option on that right hand side. So yeah, Aurier 100% plays.
Yeah, 100%. And Marcelo's just dipped off there. I'm sure he'll be back on, everybody. So look, we'll move over to left back next. For me, this is a tough call because look, Reguilon's only back from a long-term injury.
So is Aurier.
Yeah, but Aurier has proven to us that when he's come back, you know what I mean. He's a machine. He can just keep going. With Reguilon, for me, he's a kind of a player that he breaks down. And look, for me, I think it's a tough call. I really do think it's a tough call. It's hard to know whether to rest him.
No, we need him. No, we need him. I don't want to see number 33 play. It's
for me, I would play Reguilon, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did see Ben Davies in there tomorrow.
Honestly, if he's
but the thing is, Charlie, I have to agree here with David. And even if Mourinho does choose to play Ben Davies, as much as it sucks, you got to remember we got a Europa League game.
Yeah,
and that's a knockout game.
We got Palace Sunday, Europa League next Thursday, and then Arsenal the following Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not trusting number 33 ever in a knockout game. I'm not.
Yeah,
no.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting point there, though. I do see where you're coming from there, David. But who do you put there at left back? What's your gut feeling saying?
My gut feeling is saying I do think we will see Ben Davies or not even Mr. Anonymous. I do think we are going to see Mr. Anonymous. Look, you know what that means. Fulham just go down his side with the balls into the box, and the rest is history. So for me, I think it's very dangerous. But for me, I'm going to play Reguilon. I'm going to put Reguilon in, even though I do think my gut feeling, and I wouldn't be surprised to say that Ben Davies would. I do think will start. What's your thinking, Charlie? Who are you putting in?
I'm putting Reguilon. It's as simple as that. I just want Reguilon in. I think I see the point where you're coming from. We do have a lot of games coming up.
Yeah.
And I think, but for me, if you're looking at the Palace and Fulham game, I think this game is probably the tougher of the two games, in my opinion. So for me, you go with Reguilon. I think Fulham possess a lot of pace up front. I think you're going to need Reguilon's pace there up against someone like Lookman. So yeah, I'd go for Reguilon for this one. And maybe he might be rested against Palace. I don't know. But yeah, look, we'll see. But for me, Reguilon, he's number one at left back. He is absolutely brilliant, Reguilon. I love the guy, so he comes in.
Yeah, 100%. And Marcelo, who are you going to go with?
I agree with you, David. I think rest Reguilon. My focus is more on Dynamo than if I'm going to be honest. I rather if you were giving me a choice, rest the team now or rest them against Dynamo, I choose now.
What about Palace? We got Palace in between. We got Palace in between these two games. So I think
Palace Sunday.
Palace is the game to rest, I think, more so than this game.
Really? Palace is a better team than Fulham, bro.
I don't know about that. I think
they are, Charlie.
Based on performances, I'm not.
Not even based on the Premier League status they've obtained over the last few years compared to Fulham.
That's true. But I think if you look at performances,
what's his name?
Eze.
Eze. Dude, come on, man.
Yeah. No. I think if you look at based on performances recently, I think Fulham have been the better team recently for me. Maybe not over the course of the season, but recently I think Fulham have been better, to be honest.
Yeah, no, but I still think Palace are a better team. For me, I do think this is the game to rest them, get them to play against Palace. For me, then you can send out a mixed squad because we are at home in the first leg against Dynamo and have everyone ready and firing for the North London derby. But so look, we're going to stick Reguilon in there, even though that I really wouldn't be surprised to see Ben Davies play. That is my opinion. I do think maybe we could keep Reguilon for the Palace game. I do think we will need him there. His pace, especially against some of their attacking players. Townsend, Schlupp, Zaha, Eze, all pacey players. So I do think Reguilon will be important in that game. Look, moving into centre back for me, I would actually play Toby this game if he could get himself out there. I would play Toby, and I'd play maybe if you could get the same centre back Sanchez in beside him, because for me, look, you need to kind of keep the same defence to build up the confidence.
I agree.
To keep the clean sheets. They have kept the clean sheet in the last game. So for me, I would put the same defence out there. That's just my opinion. But we'll go to Marcelo first. Marcelo, what do you think?
I think Toby has to play. I think, honestly, Toby has to play almost every game, bro. He's our only center back that can pass from the back. You know, like every time, if you notice, like every time, one of our fullbacks get a ball, they just press them. They don't even try to press our center backs. They just press our fullbacks, who then pass to our center backs, who then do fuck all, hold the ball for too long, and then just shoots it back to the opponents.
Yeah.
That's what they do. It's so easy. I could play against these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. So I think Toby has to play because he's the only one that can get the ball to the midfield, who can then get the ball to the
Yeah,
to the
completely agree. Completely agree.
100%. We were actually saying that earlier on in the stream, Marcelo, that with Toby, it's very hard to press when you have Toby because he can play that. He can play that 40, 50-yard ball in behind for someone running in behind. He can ping it to Kane's chest. He can spray it left. He can spray it right. But he also has the composure to be able to get it into the likes of Ndombele and Højbjerg, which means then they're conserving energy because they're not having to chase the ball. They can actually get on the ball. You know what I mean? So for me, I think that we were saying that Toby is actually crucial to this team. Whether we like it or not, the only problem is that, his legs. It's his legs and his body. And playing at elite level for so long, it does take its toll. But for me, he's crucial. But for me, I go Toby and Sanchez. But Marcelo, quickly, who are you playing in beside Toby?
I think you have to play Sanchez. Keep the same partnership.
Yeah.
Screw it. Sanchez does have the pace. He is reckless. I think my issue with Sanchez is that he always likes diving. You know what I mean? He always dives for the ball. He always going to tackles. And when he does it right, it looks very pretty and it looks very nice. But any good defender knows that that's not how you defend. Because if you fuck up the tackle, one, you leave loads of space, and two, you can, if you miss timing, you can cause a penalty.
Yeah. But what I will say about Sanchez is that he has the last 2 clean sheets we've kept in the Premier League. He has been in that back line alongside Toby Alderweireld.
Look, whoever you put in there, it doesn't really fucking matter because they're all shit. Other than Toby, but you need consistency. So go with Sanchez and Toby, in my opinion.
100%. We have someone calling here for. He says Roden is a good call. At Sean Mitchell. He says Toby in, sub him out then 50, 60 minutes for Roden or Takanga. Look, Sean, that would be absolutely ideal if we could have the game done and dusted before then. I really do like your thinking. And Charlie, who are you putting in centre back?
I'm going to agree with both of you. I think I said it earlier. For me, you have to go with Toby and Sanchez. Just go with consistency. I think they both played very well against Burnley, and I think you have to stick with it. As I said, you have to be consistent. You can't keep chopping and changing. So, as you said, they've kept 2 clean sheets in their last two games together. And so, look, and as well, I don't want to see Dyer anywhere near this team. It's as simple as that. So, for me, I'm going to agree with both of you. I think it has to be Toby and Sanchez as well.
Yeah, so we'll stick them in there. So we're going to move on into the midfield. And for me, look, Højbjerg has played every Premier League game this season. He can only keep going for so long. I think if anybody be rotated in that midfield, which I'm not expecting, by the way, I do think that you might see Højbjerg rested. That's just my opinion. That's my feeling.
We don't have anyone else that can play that.
I know, but you might see Sissoko come in there or something. That's just my opinion. Please, the guy does play a lot of football. No, look, the guy plays a lot of football. I'm not saying I want him. I'm just saying that, if anybody's going to be rested in that midfield, I do think it could be Højbjerg, but I don't think so. For me, I stick with Højbjerg and Ndombele.
Yeah,
it's a very, very tough midfield to come up against, especially now that we're able to keep the ball. I don't think a lot of teams are going to want to face us with that midfield. They work hard. They're not afraid. They get stuck in. They will bully you. They're not going to let you have any easy ball in there, and it's exactly what we need in there. We need fighters, people that are going to turn over ball, but not only turn it over, be good on the ball like Ndombele and like Højbjerg is. We'll go to you, Charlie, on this one first. What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we have to stick with that midfield too. I think since we've started playing Højbjerg and Ndombele in the pivot, we've just looked so much better on the ball and sort of transition from defense to attack. I think it's just made our team look better because they both 2 players with a lot of quality on the ball, as I said, and that's important in the modern game. we look a lot more crisp in terms of our passing with them too. And it's just a breath of fresh air, really. And I think it's so good to have Ndombele at full fitness that he can play in that position and can last 90 minutes. Look, 100% you stick with them, gives us more creativity and more quality on the ball, and gives us also an extra attacking slot in there as well. So, 100% it has to be that midfield too. And I hope we persist with it for the majority of games for the rest of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Look, the only thing is, it is going to be hard to get the two boys out there for every game this season. But Marcelo, what's your feelings on the two guys in the middle? Can you see maybe Højbjerg maybe being rested, or do you think Jose is just going to keep persisting until the guy breaks down?
Listen, look, I don't ever want to see Sissoko, Winks, Dyer ever play for my team ever again.
Yeah,
I think Dyer is the biggest disgrace I've ever seen.
No, I agree.
Quarterback. How can you go out in the media, him and Winks? For me, I've never seen the players more disgraceful than those two. How can you go out in the media and say you're happy with your level?
Oh, God, that was ridiculous. Those Dyer comments were ridiculous.
Dyer,
and then you have Harry Winks. Look, the first thing on Winks' mind is, oh, boss, can I play for England in the Euros? Not, look, I want to break into the Tottenham team and actually prove my worth, because the Irish Hotspur and Marcelo and Charlie are absolutely going ballistic. None of that. It's all about, oh, I want to play for England. I want to get my cap.
Mate, he's not getting anywhere near that England team. Nowhere near.
Yeah, 100%. But sorry, Marcelo. I just have to get that out. You know my feelings on this guy. He really drives me insane.
Yeah.
No. Look, these players are driving me insane as well, David. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all these players, man. You got Dyer fucking making the dumbest penalty ever on earth and then patting himself in the back for it. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, you got guys, what happened in the old days, where guys like Roy Keane, actual champions, actual guys can go out and say, yeah, I'm really good, but they didn't do that. You know what they said? They said, no, I had a shit game. I can do better.
Yeah.
Like, they always kept looking to get better. You look at Kane. You don't see him go out in the season saying, "Oh yeah, I'm happy with my level. Oh yeah, I'm doing great." And he can say that, bro. If Harry Kane went on and said, "Yeah, no, I'm really happy with my my level that I'm playing right now. I think I'm playing very well," nobody here would disagree with him. But you don't see him saying that. You got all these fucking idiots like Dyer and Winks saying, "Oh, I'm one of the best. I want to play for a top La Liga club. Oh, I'm one of the best center back." Like, bro, like Dyer. Dude, I can literally find academy players that can do better than you. Seriously, you can't pass the ball, man. And you're telling me you're happy about your level? Get the fuck out of here, man.
They were ridiculous. Those comments.
Look, before you make your call on who you're going to put in the midfield there, Marcelo, Kev Williams makes a good point here. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg did suffer a twisted ankle versus Burnley at the end of the game. He may start on the bench, and again, it's not a bad point to make, because he might not be ready for this game. We don't know.
No, I think
obviously
Mourinho said he's fine. I think he said he's fine.
Yeah, look, it's all good Mourinho saying he's fine, but we do know Mourinho plays mind games, and it wouldn't surprise to see Sissoko Winks start tomorrow. But Marcelo, who are you going with in the middle, lad?
No, I'm going with Charlie, going with Ndombele and Højbjerg. I don't want to see any of these other first players unless they start, acting like real men, acting like real footballers, and not, taxi drivers. Giving them a little bit of pat in the back just for being there and participating and passing the ball. Show a lot of passion. No. I want to see guys that actually care. It's not good enough. You know what? Get out of fine. Get the youngsters, get them out there, actually prove themselves.
Well,
how can you say
100%.
Your level? You haven't been. So going with that midfield.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, this team is a reflection of what's happening in real life. There's no winners and losers anymore like there was when I was growing up. You know what I mean? That's where my hunger and desire comes from winning. It's because when I was growing up, if you were losing, you were taunted, but it was in a slanted way. It was a joke. You know what I mean? But nowadays when people lose, they get insulted, they cry. You know what I mean? And which gives them no desire to go out and win and be winners. And it's just a reflection of society. All of a sudden now you're getting all these participation medals, and they're taking winning and losing out of things. And it's a reflection of our squad at the minute, to be honest with you. But look, we're going to move on. So look, in the central attacking midfield role, me personally, I think Bale might come off the bench tomorrow. That's my feeling on it. So I'm going to go on that basis. I'm going to move Lucas Moura out to the right, and I'm going to throw Dele Alli in centre attacking midfield. Charlie, what's your opinion?
Yeah, for me, I'd stick with Lucas in the number 10 role. As I said, I think out wide he just goes very anonymous, and we've seen the reason why he's been on very good form lately, Lucas, is because of that number 10 role. He's a lot more involved. He's getting on the ball. He's dribbling past defenders, and he's been really, really good. I've been very impressed with him in this number 10 role. So for me, I'd stick with him in the number 10 role. I think you have to stick with that for me.
Yeah, 100%. And Marcelo, who are you going to play there? Oh, Marcelo, you're frozen, lad. I'll try this. Try and bring him back for everybody. Let's see if he's back here now. No. Anyway, so look, we're on a split decision here. So
it's your channel. We'll go with what we can go whatever you say.
I'm going to go with Dele because honestly, I think Dele maybe didn't start the weekend purely because I think he's in contention to start this game. That's my feeling on it, to be honest with you, Charlie. So I'm going to take responsibility for this. I'm going to be a true leader, like half of these players should. You know what I mean? I'm going to make a managerial decision, and we're going to go with Dele in the centre attacking midfield. Out left, it's the one and only, isn't it, Charlie? It's the Korean King. It's
Son Aldo.
Young men. Son Aldo, Son Perignon. Do you know what I mean? The guy is an absolute legend. He's the Korean King.
100%.
For me, the only thing he lacked against Burnley was a goal. But you have them days you can be as creative as you want.
He was brilliant against Burnley.
Set everybody up, let them all get the goal. But then sometimes, the ball just won't go in the net. It's just one of them days. I've been there, being a creative flair player like myself. Like Zidane sort of player I was. You have them days where, sometimes the ball just doesn't find the net. But for me, it's Son. Who are you going with, Charlie?
Yes, it has to be Son. Who else? 100%. Son Aldo on that left wing. And yeah, definitely was brilliant against Burnley. And I think he's definitely in for a goal for this game, hopefully. Yeah,
100%. I fully agree. I just want to take this comment here from Gary Paul Speed. Play the same winning team. Don't change it. We need the 3 points in the league as much as trying to beat Dynamo Zagreb. Play the same lineup as Burnley win the match, and then build up the confidence. No, look, there's certainly a case for that.
I agree. I agree with that.
You know what I mean? For me, look, I've always lived by, you never change a winning team. But I do think with some of the long-term injuries we've had, that some of these guys will have to be managed over the next couple of weeks. And that's what I'm basing my decision on. But, I 100% agree with your comment. We have Marcelo saying he's got to go. He's going with 3-1. We also have a super sticker here from Matthew Collins. Absolutely big yourself up. Thank you so much for the support, man. Also, there's super chat option there if you want to get a super chat and put a comment in. And we'll stop everything we're doing and discussing it. So there is that option there as well if you want the super chat. I just find the super chat more engaging than a super sticker, but they're also available. So big yourself up. Every super chat, it really does help the channel. It really helps take it to the next level, and it helps me being able to sit here and create more content for you guys to join. Because to be honest with you, I think we've actually created a nice little family here. We have our regulars tuning in, all the newbies, they're always welcome. They're nice, and we've got a good thing going here. So, you know what I mean? If you do have anything, make sure you get the super chat in and help the Harris Army and go to the very, very top. So big up Matthew Collins. I really do appreciate it. But Charlie, we'll go back to the predicted lineup there just to finish it off. Look, outright for me, I'm gonna put Lucas forward. I do maybe think you might see Lamela. What about
Bale? Do you think Bale starts again this game? Because I'm
not sure. For me, I think Bale might be resting and be brought off the bench. But then again, look, that decision actually comes down to Gareth Bale himself. It really does. For me, I think
we have to go with Gareth Bale. I think maybe against Palace is more of the game to sort of try, because I think if you play him for a second game in a row, it can build more and more momentum. If you know what I mean, it just builds it up. So I think
I get what you're saying, but again, it comes down to Gareth Bale and how his body's feeling, but also comes down to Mourinho having to manage his game time. For me, I actually think you rest him when you play him against Palace. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick Lucas Moura on the right-hand side.
Okay, yeah, it's your channel, so we'll go with that one, David.
But honestly, state your case. Don't state your case. Don't just concede.
No, I'm saying that I would go for Lucas in the number 10 role and Bale on the right because, as I said, Moura is just so much more effective in the number 10 role. And with Bale, I think you have to try and build momentum with him. He's been playing so well lately, and I think, look, hopefully it's been 4 days since the Burnley game, so hopefully he's recovered. I think hopefully he has, to be honest. So for me, it's Bale on the right and then Moura in the number 10 role. But of course, we're going to go with David's decision because it's his channel.
Yeah, no, look, ultimately, yeah. But no, honestly, I'm not discrediting what you're saying or discounting what you're saying
of course.
whatsoever, Charlie. Don't think that. That's just my personal opinion on it. That's all. Big up John Fitzpatrick. He says, hey, David, great idea for the Saturday morning show. Yeah, thank you so much. Look, it is going to take a couple of weeks for me to kind of get it together and get it right, to get it out there. But, I'm glad it's something that you look forward to. So thank you very much, John Fitzpatrick. We have Bob Spur TV here as well. Everybody get over and check out Bob Spur TV. Putting out great content there as well. Great show, buddy. Big up Charlie, guys. How big a blow to the confidence is a draw, or heaven forbids defeat tomorrow? No. It's look, for me, I think if we don't win it, I honestly think we've conceded the top 4 in the league. I do think that'll be the case.
We have to win. We have to try and build momentum. We need to go on a run. It's that simple. We really do.
100%, I agree with you. And then we have Matthew Collins. I'm going to take this before I get on to Harry Kane because I want to give him the entrance he deserves. I really think Dyer should be sold with Sanchez. Yeah, Matthew, look, I fully agree with you, if I'm honest.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we could probably get rid of the. Look, personally, I'd like to sell the 2 of them, but in business terms, I don't think it's going to happen if we're realistic. I think there is room for one of them to go and bring someone in. But no, 100%, I agree with your comment, man. Charlie, what would you like to say?
Yeah, I agree, especially Dyer, to be honest. I really do agree with that. But yeah, do you want to move on to the striker now? Because look, this will be quick because there's only one man up top, isn't there? Only one man. Harry Kane, 100%. He goes in.
No, look, Charlie, let me take this one. You're not doing it justice. So it's the Don. It's the king of the lane. It's Harry Kane, number 10, perfect hair. Jersey sits on him so nicely with that cockerel on. When he walks down that line, he is going to bang a goal. When his hair is perfect, he's got the Dax wax. He's feeling good. He's looking slick. He's moving slick. It only means one thing. He's going to bag a goal. And an interesting stat, actually. Do you know he scored 4 in his last 4 against Fulham? So one thing it tells me, he's going for 5 and 5. He's going to be the great London king. He's going to be the king of London, and we're going to restore some order.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, look, so there you have it. That's how you introduce Harry Kane, Charlie. Let's do it with a bit of enthusiasm. This guy is a king.
Come on.
He's a legend. But look, I'm going to run through the starting lineup for you. We have Hugo Lloris in goals. We have Serge Aurier at right back. We have Calamity Sanchez along with Toby Kenobi at centre back. At left back, we have the Don Reguillon. In centre midfield, we have Endon Baller, Endon Max Sauce. We have Pierre-Emile Brickhouse. We have Dele Ali, centre attacking midfielder. He hasn't earned a nickname yet, but there will be one if he earns it. We have the Korean King out on the left. We have Lucas Moura Rapid out on the right. He's been in good form lately. And then we have the man, the myth, the legend. It's Harry Kane.
The main man.
That's what I want to see. He's going to be 100%. One of us when he finishes his career. He's going to be a fan of Tottenham Hotspur. But guys, there you have it. There's our predicted lineup. Let us know what you would change. Also, get your super chats in if you've enjoyed this show. We're going to go for about another 10-15 minutes. But get your super chats if you've enjoyed this show. It helps take us to the very, very top. So look, Charlie, there's our predicted lineup. If that's our predicted lineup, what score are you going to go?
Oh, interesting one. I said on your prediction show, I said 1-0 Spurs, and I'm going to stick with that. I think it'll be a close game, as I said. Fulham, as I said, they're a tough nut to crack. I think it's imperative we take the lead.
Well, like I said to you earlier on today, all nuts crack eventually.
Yeah, but it's just so important we take the lead in this game. We don't go a goal down or something stupid like that. We have to take the lead in this game. And hopefully it's an early goal and we can sort of kill off this game. But I think it'll be tight. And I'm going to go 1-0 Spurs. I think we have, if we can play like we did against Burnley, it could be more potentially. But I think Fulham could be a tougher game than Burnley. So I'm going 1-0 Spurs.
1-0 Spurs. Look, very, very pessimistic, Charlie.
It's a win.
Look,
It's a win.
yeah, it's a win. It's a win. I'll give you that. But look, the profit is back. I told you exactly last weekend what was going to happen. Clean sheet. We're going to score goals. We're going to look good. We're going to move good. We're going to be clinical. You know what I mean? I told you a big result was incoming. Charlie, I told you to welcome the 3 points with open arms. It's exactly what happened. And what I'm going to say this week, I'm going to go again. I'm going to go 3-0 Spurs. I think we're going to keep it between teeth. I think we're going to take Fulham. Look, people can sit there and praise Fulham and Scotty starstruck all they want. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they're in relegation. They've only won 4 games all season. So one thing I will tell you, Spurs fans, is if you are having a sneaky bet, do not back Tottenham to lose, because it's not happening. Fulham do not have the firepower. What I will say is back Tottenham to win, because it's happening. The Korean King's in form. The Don, Harry Kane, King of the Lane, he's in form. Gareth Wales is in form. Lucas Moore Rapid is in form. You know what I mean? Honestly, Scotty Parker is going to be Scotty starstruck by the time we're finished with him. His panties are going to be in a twist, and it's going to make his wedgie even more sore. That's exactly what I want, because I want revenge. They made a show of me last time. I'm out there giving it the big one on our nice little run, little nugget on Scotty Parker. And then they get a 1-1. It was absolutely not acceptable.
We should have won.
So for me, I want to go out there and I want to turn it around. I'm going 3-0. I'm going Harry Kane with 2. But honestly, my pre-prediction is Harry Kane with 2. But on the Matty Hayes watch along, everyone knows that I do a pre-match hair prediction when I see Harry Kane. and when Harry Kane's not playing, I have a look like I predicted the Bale one. You know what I mean, against Wolfsburger and that. So honestly, get over and check that out. My pre-match prediction, whether I think Harry Kane will score or not. But right now, I'm going with Harry Kane with 2, and I'm going to go Son with 1. That's my opinion on it. Look, the last thing I want to talk about really is Bale. Gareth Bale's importance. So I have 2 things I want to talk about. But one is Gareth Bale's importance. So look, without Gareth Bale and without someone down that right-hand side, Charlie, like we know, look, it was very easy to press us. You press over the left-hand side, block up the spaces, don't let Tottenham out with the ball, take the ball off Son or Kane. And what was happening then is when you nullify one, you nullify both of them. And they were leaving our right-hand side completely free because, look, they knew no matter who you give the ball to out there, nothing's happening. They have to take 10 touches to get it under control. You know what I mean? So, it's going to be slow when it does go out there. But what Gareth Bale has done, he's coming in on the right-hand side and he's provided something else for defenders to think about. He really has. And he's made us threatening all the way across the front 4. Not just the left and up front with Harry Kane, all the way across, especially with Lucas stepping up in that number 10 the last few weeks. So it's made us really threatening. But look, Gareth Bale, he's been directly involved in 7 goals in his last 4 matches in all competitions, scoring 4 and assisting 7. Or scoring 4 and assisting 3, sorry. That's massive, isn't it? 100%. Like, that's what we've been crying out for, what Bergwijn wasn't doing, Lamela wasn't doing.
100%, yeah. And at last, as I said, we're finally seeing something from Gareth Bale, which we've been hoping for since he rejoined us. And it's just such a breath of fresh air to see someone that can take sort of the burden off Kane and Son, give us more goals. I think Bale, he was absolutely brilliant against Burnley, sort of reminiscence of the old Bale. It really, really was brilliant. It's just so brilliant to see this for Gareth Bale. I'm so happy with him at the moment. And hopefully, fingers crossed, he can continue this because we really need to see some consistency from him as well. So hopefully he can carry this on because as Matthew here says, Kane, Son and Bale, if all 3 of them in form, for me, that's definitely up there with the very best front 3s in the world. It really, really is. So if we can get them 3 on form, we could be unstoppable. We really, really could. Fingers crossed that starts tomorrow and continues from Sunday because we were brilliant. That front 3 looked very fluid on Sunday. So hopefully long may it continue.
Yeah, 100%. John, look, he just gets excited like me. I always talk over other people as well. He just gets excited like me. We can't contain it. But we have a super chat here from Wayne Winter. Big up, Wayne. Absolutely love the commitment, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. He says, hi, David and Charlie. Great show as usual. Just caught the last 20 minutes, but come on, everyone. Give David your support. Great chat. I predict 3-1 Spurs. Absolutely love it, Wayne. Look, honestly, I do encourage you when you get time to look over the whole stream because we really went into that in depth on a preview today. We spoke a lot about Fulham. We spoke a lot about, our squad, our team, predicted lineup, a bit of a tactical.
It's been a good stream today. It really has.
Thanks. we've covered absolutely everything today. So, you know, the super chat, I really do appreciate it, man. Big yourself up. And I'm glad you've tuned in. And he says, come on, everybody, give David your support. Great chat. Predict 3-1 Spurs. Yeah, honestly, everyone else, if you want to, if you're jealous of Wayne, make sure you get your super chat in and help this channel grow as well. And 3-1. Yeah, look, you're going big like me, Wayne. I do agree. I do think, you know, Fulham need to show us a lot more respect than what they did the last game. I think they will have a lot more to be cautious about this game. They know we're in form. Look, I know Fulham haven't lost any in their last 5, but you know they are where they are for a reason, and they've only 4 wins for a reason, 11 draws. So I think, honestly, like I said in the last game against Fulham, once we get 2 goals, for me, it's game over. There is no comeback. I do think it's going to be that easy. But big up, Wayne. Really, really do appreciate it. And we have Simon Cohen saying Marcelo was pumped up tonight. 100% he was.
100%.
But look, the last thing I want to talk about, Charlie, is we're going to go for about another 5 minutes. Is basically, look, that's no surprise that this like Wolfsburger and Burnley, okay, people say the quality of the opposition, but it's no surprise we look so much better and we're not struggling against these teams when you're not playing the likes of you know, Harry Winks, Ben Davies, you know, even Eric Dyer. You have someone on the right who can come in, which is in Gareth Bale. So the fact that Reguillon is back, Toby Alderweireld is starting, you know, you have Aurier back, you have a Højbjerg and Ndombele in midfield, 2 players that can actually control and pass the ball, control the game, get up and down, smash players if need be. And you have Gareth Bale coming in on the right, making a big difference. All issues that we've all spoke about, really, over the last few months, Charlie, all things that we've pinpointed that you know, it's the reason why you've seen the decrease in results. It's not just as simple as saying Mourinho's lost the dressing room, Mourinho this, Mourinho that. When you actually look into that, there are actually things behind it. What do you make on that, Charlie?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, as I said, now we've got a lot of injuries back. I think that's helped us massively, especially Reguillon and Aurier, which have been massive boost for us. Because I think our strongest 11 is actually a really good 11, barring a couple of positions like the centre-backs. I think a lot of positions in there are really strong. It's just when we get an injury, that's where the problems, because we have to call upon these sort of fringe players, which we know some of them are useless. We know that. So that's been our problem. Like, for example, when Reguillon was out, we had to call upon Mr. Anonymous. So, yeah, it's just really good to have our injuries back now. And I think that's definitely helping us. It really, really is. So, yeah, bring it on. And I just hope, as I said, we can get some consistency going into this Fulham game. We can go on a bit of a run now, because the way we played against Burnley suggests that we can definitely do that. And if we attack the way we did, we can definitely do something there. So, yeah, 100%. Hopefully we see another good performance. And, yeah, bring it on. But, yeah, look, David, as well, I've got to head off now myself. But thanks for having me on your channel, as always. Come on, let's do this tomorrow, Tottenham. I hope I'll be speaking to you for the stream the following day, hopefully after 3 points again. But, yeah, cheers for having me on, as always, David.
Yeah, no problem at all, Charlie. Love having you on. Absolutely brilliant. So it is, you know, thank you for giving up your time once again. I appreciate it. The Harris Army appreciate it. The Irish Hotspur Army really appreciate it.
Come on.
You know, and look, you're going to see me loud and proud tomorrow at some stage, Charlie, especially after that win that we get tomorrow.
Let's go. Come on, you Spurs. In Jose we trust. And hopefully the next time we're on, we're speaking about 3 points, David. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you. Look, thank you so much, Charlie. I really do appreciate it. Look, if anyone, I'll stay on for another 5 minutes. If anyone has questions that they want to get in, now's your time. Get them in. And we also have Wayne Winter back with another super chat. But before I get to that, I want to take this top-notch banter from Matthew Collins here. He says, come on, tightwads. Help the legend, the Irish Hotspur, take his channel far and higher. Look, you know what I mean? Honestly, look, there's some people out there that, you know, can't due to, you know, look, basically, I'm not rich myself. You know what I mean? I come from a working class background. I live week to week. You know what I mean? So I understand people's situations, especially now during the pandemic. Money's tight. And as well, some regions across the world, you know, they don't have that option available. But Matthew Collins, I love the top-notch banter, mate. Absolutely, really do appreciate it. We have Haitin Al Batashi. He's put in a super sticker. Big up. I really do appreciate it. But next time, what I say to you is get your super chat in. You know, get your question into me and I'll address it. It's more interactive. It's more personal. But thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. And then we'll get down to the super chat here from Wayne Winter. He says, "Oh, believe you, me, David. I'll be watching the full stream. Keep up the good work." Yeah, 100%. And look, you know where to go for that on the Matty Hayes watch along. I've seen you over there, guys. I will be going live. I will be going live after the game. Tomorrow night, at some stage after the game, usually about 2 hours after the game, I'll be getting a couple of people on to discuss the game, discuss everything that's happened. So make sure you tune in for that. And when if you do go off to Matty Hayes watch along for the game, make sure you come over to me after that game for a review. But big up, man. I really do appreciate it, man. You're so generous. Thank you. And look, and we have Simon screwing the tune. A big up, Simon. Haven't spoke to you in a long time. Brother, I hope you're keeping well. And yeah, look, I'd love to hear from you again, man. We have Tony89. He says, will you be doing a watch along? Look, the watch along is on Matty Hayes' channel. We go an hour and 15 before kickoff. First 15 minutes, we talk about a bit about, leading up to the game. Then on the hour, then at 5 o'clock, the team news will be out and we'll be doing a live talk on live team news and stuff like that. So make sure you tune in. But look, guys, will the Spurs breakfast live stream happen this week? The regular? No, look, it's not going to happen this week. I was just putting the idea out there to see if there are people be interested. Look, I am going to need help on it as well. I'm going to need people on. I will be putting out memberships, and so for the last half an hour, maybe 45 minutes at the end of it, basically what I'm thinking is that I'll get everybody on to have their say on whatever they want to talk about. Come on, give your name and where you're from, and then basically whether you have a question or a statement you want to make sure you come on and do it. And obviously members will be getting the priority for that. But as well, I'll need super chats in and everything else to try and make it happen. And of course, I need you guys, most importantly, tuning in and interacting with me, because if you don't do that, ultimately it's going to be a flop. So it is something that I have kind of put together. I just need to put more planning into it and get it right, because I don't want to put it out and it not be right. But no, the regular, look, as soon as it is coming up, believe me and you, I will let you know. Simon says he hasn't seen Alex for a few months. No, look, Alex has been over on the football terrace. He's been busy working and all, but he is one person I'll definitely be getting back up. We have Screw in the Tuna. He says, what a hero, same to you, brother. 4-1 to the Spurs tomorrow. Yeah, look, I really hope that's the case, Simon. I really do. I really do. It'd be nice to get the win and build up momentum. Like I said, it's really important. But look, guys, there we have it. Thank you so much for everyone that's tuned in. And there's your preview for Fulham v Tottenham. If you've enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. A big thank you to the Harris Army and everyone else for watching. As always, in Joseph we trust. Come on, you Spurs.